Lee Haskins defends his IBF championship for the first time since he became the full IBF champion before he was the interim champion until Randy Caballero failed to make weight for what was supposed to be a fight between the two of them. And he went in there and defeated Ivan Morales, brother of El Terrible Morales, as well as former Bantamweight champion Diego Morales, in a 12-round decision, unanimous decision. Judges had it a little bit wider than I had it. I basically had it about 9 rounds to 3. Two of the judges had it 10 to 2, and then one had it 11 to 1. I didn't think it was that wide. I thought that Morales, in spite of the scorecards, actually looked a little bit liver in some of those rounds than you would give him credit for with regard to those scorecards. Early on, he was able to kind of press Haskins to a degree, land a couple of good shots here and there. But one of the big problems was he was following Haskins around and he really wasn't throwing a lot of punches. He was pretty much allowing Haskins to dictate the activity, the distance, and basically the area where the fight would be fought at in terms of like ring generalship. Haskins was able to pretty much control all those factors, and I mean it pretty much led to him being able to win a wide decision. Albeit he looked kind of sloppy himself in a number of ways. I mean, he was throwing uppercuts from way outside, throwing a lot of shots that landed on Morales' gloves. A lot of these rounds, he really pretty much won close just by virtue of outworking Morales more than anything else, where Morales was kind of following him around, not really throwing too much. He would throw a couple shots here and there. He would land like one or two good ones per round, otherwise miss. Haskins would land a number of shots, but they would be more grazing or partially blocked than really clean punches for the most part. There was a couple good punches here and there that he landed, but there was never any time where either guy was really hurt or stunned or looked like they were in danger of being stopped. Morales started, backtracking a little bit, trying to box off the back foot to a degree later in the fight, counterpunch, but that really wasn't working out for him either. He just really lacked the overall skill set to hang with Haskins' abilities. His ability to kind of bounce around the ring, athletically kind of move around and control the distance and the tempo. So with that, I mean, Haskins gets the win. His next fight is likely going to be his mandatory against Stuart Hall, which would be a rematch of a fight they had about 5 years ago now. And Haskins pretty much dominated Stuart Hall that first fight. And although Hall seems to be boxing better recently, I mean he showed some pretty good stuff in the Rodrigo Guerrero fight. I still would favor Haskins over him even now. I think it would probably be a closer fight than the first fight was, but Haskins probably wins that. I mean that's pretty much the next fight that seems to be happening. It doesn't seem like there's going to be anybody else that's going to get that shot before Hall. I mean, it just makes the most sense. It's a mandatory, all UK showdown, so they'll both get paid pretty handsomely for it. Because definitely there's a few fighters in that weight class, and especially in the IBF rankings, that I would give a damn good shot at beating Haskins at the moment. You got Omar Narvaez there, the former flyweight and super flyweight champion. You got Talani Tete there, who is the former IBF super flyweight champion, and of course, recently bodied Paul Butler in pretty nasty fashion. And then you got Sangano Tsitsaitong there, looking to potentially become the youngest world champion of all time. 16-year-old phenom. He still has about a year before he runs out of time to try to break that record. But I mean, in spite of that, he looks like a damn skilled fighter, for his age, and I mean his overall development. I'd give all three of those guys a definite shot against Haskins, considering how Haskins has it's almost like a Prince Nassim Hamed style without the power, as my homeboy Cam said. He pretty much said he's Prince Nassim without the power. He's pretty much right to a certain degree. He's a guy that likes to kind of be on the outside, just kind of leap in with power shots, but he really doesn't have the power punch to put the authority behind those shots. And he's really not quite as quick as Hamed was, at least not with his hands. With his feet, I mean, he's still pretty fast. But otherwise, I mean, good, pretty fair win for Haskins. I mean, it wasn't like an overwhelmingly impressive win. He didn't look really too excellent against Morales. I mean, Morales had already had a previous loss against the Journeyman, which wasn't even that long ago. It was only 2 fights ago. But Haskins versus Hall is like the next step. And then from there, I mean, it'd be nice to see him mix it up with one of the three guys that I mentioned or one of the other champions. So Bantamweight is actually a little bit of an underrated division. If these guys started mixing and matching up against each other, there's a lot of solid matchups that could happen. I mean, we have the Warren Payano rematch coming up, and then the winner of that is likely going to be fighting Jimmy McDonald. And so, that just sets up probably a good series of fights. You got Yamanaka having the rematch of Moreno sometime soon, and then you still got Ponlong Sorsinyu out there. And I mean, he's always a fun fighter to watch against anybody he fights. So, some good potential out there, and looking like hopefully we get some of these guys mixed up. So that's it for this one. Catch you guys on the next. Peace.